So now we have an interesting kind of turn of events for Anthony. He wraps up essentially Compound Media. It merges with Censored. He basically doesn't want to
Right.
have the responsibility of running a company anymore. Uh, and I'm not sure actually. Maybe I should talk to Anthony about this. But do we know like how this radio gig even cropped up for him in the first place?
Uh, from what I understood, how it all went down is they just called him up, and they were
Cool.
looking for new programming, new talent. I think they have 3 hosts that had to leave because they're all running for political office.
Wow.
So, they would have to leave at a certain point for once they're running, because you can't be on media like that. It's a law.
Because you'll tell everyone to vote for you.
Well, that, and then also the outlets that you're on have to give equal time if the candidates request it, right?
Didn't Trump sue somebody over that?
Well, when that last episode of Saturday Night Live before the election, they had Kamala Harris on.
Yeah.
And she came on and she did she played herself, but it was a skit, right? Because it's broadcast television, FCC rules and all of that stuff, they have to give equal time
Right.
for a presidential candidate. So what they did was, I don't think Trump sued. They reached out to them and saying, we want, our equal time. And he wasn't going to go on Saturday Night Live. So what they did was they gave him 90 seconds during the Super Bowl.
Huh. Whoa.
Which is amazing.
So
he
didn't do that through SNL. The network just gave him that.
That's what they offered him, and they took it.
Wow.
And they ran ads or promos, whatever you want, during the Super Bowl, which was fantastic.
That's a way better deal.
Very liberal leaning network, but the audience for the Super Bowl and for football, majority leaning conservative. You couldn't get better ad placement for that. So they had his stuff running this, and that's how they worked everything out.
Oh, wow.
So it just lucked out because it was a secret. Nobody knew she was coming. And
it was a lame sketch. It was like her.
But it's brilliant on Lorne Michaels' part, because he always, for whatever you think of Saturday Night Live or Lorne or whatever, he's always taken those kind of risks. He's always taken, he's rolled the dice where you can't have this guest on, or you can't, this musician can't play that song or whatever. He doesn't care. He knows what entertainment, and he'll deal with the repercussions after that. And especially where he's at now, who's going to tell him no? Right? Unless somebody died on the show, he's untouchable.
I thought he was going to wrap it up after the 50th anniversary show.
I mean, they're still in their 50th season. He could write out the season. Who knows? But point is, he rolled the dice. He knew it was going to generate enough publicity and news and everything. He's a smart guy. Has her on. Does what it is. Let the network deal with it. And that's exactly what he did. We had her on. We know this is what's going to happen. The network's not going to do anything to me, especially with all the 50th celebration stuff that was about to come out. The documentaries, the movies, the music specials, the live radio hall,
the
Radio City, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that, and he has her on, and then let NBC deal with the aftermath, which they did.
Okay.
It's untouchable. It was a brilliant move.
That was a good move. So they're looking for more talent. They get Anthony on. They give him the Sunday night slot, Sunday 8 to 10. He does one show, and within 48 hours, he finds out that he is syndicated, which means
that was exciting, and that was unreal. Because I had talked to him before that announcement came out, and looking at this thing, I was like, I told you this would happen.
Yeah.
Like, I did not that fast. Like,
I
knew
it would.
I knew he would get syndication down the line, because the deal that they were working out was they were going to have him on, and then to be local, with the opportunity of possible syndication down the line, because they had like 380 something stations, that there was this opportunity down the line. And he even said so himself. He took the job. It was an opportunity. He wanted to see what would happen. He was excited about it, get the local thing. The possibility down the line was also another incentive to do this. He's like, hey, there's a possibility to get syndicated. And when we had talked, he was going to do this. I'm like, if they offered you the possibility, it means they're going to. But I'm thinking months down the line. And then they said, well, we're going to put him on Sunday nights at 8, right? At 8. And made sense because we haven't done terrestrial radio since 2009. That was the last time we did Opie and Anthony on terrestrial radio. So it's been a long time. It makes sense to see if when they got to test out all the equipment, the connection to a studio to make sure. And he even said this too, to make sure he's not going to drop the N-word or something like that on there. He understood. We all understood. It's
Did
like,
he have a
it.
sign in his studio like "Don't say the N-word"? Just like I should put one
told
up
him.
here.
I told him. I said, put under your monitor terrestrial radio, because sometimes you get lost in the motion of your thoughts.
I think he did put one
and
up.
then because if you then all of a sudden it comes out like you're doing your podcast where you can say whatever you want. If you have that reminder, that it stays in your head to not say those things. It's an old radio trick that a PD taught me back in the 90s, that if you're on air, if you don't want to, a lot of people say like those kind of
nobody
crutches,
in this room does that,
right? Put that on the board right there in front of you, so when you're speaking, you see that, and even though you see that, it gets ingrained in your mind that you stop saying that because you see it. Same thing applied here. It's like this way, so you're not accidentally cursing or whatever. They put them on there just to test it out. We figured, all right, it's going to do a few things. Like I had anything to do with this. Then he tells me this, and he goes, the announcement's coming out in a few hours. And I was like, I told you this would happen. It was going to lead to him, the syndication. Nobody could have imagined 48 hours. And they're like, yep, we've seen enough. This is
Their app use exploded, everything.
It was almost like King of Comedy. Like, you know how Rupert Pupkin was thinking, I'll go on there. And then, you were right, Rupert. We were wrong. We're going to give you this show. You're going to get everything from your one appearance. That's exactly what happened here.
Whoa.
So that came out, all this. I was like, I was happy. I'm very happy for him. Like, that's fantastic. Good on him. I'm more excited about the possibility of this is reversing course on radio, because radio is just fucking dead. They've gotten rid of everything. It's still to this day. Every week we're seeing hundreds of layoffs, depending which company. It's spinning the wheel each week. Which company's going to do another mass layoff?
From one or friends.
We got
I find out
we got a super chat,
and
it's relevant.
From
Jonathan Prezione. Prezois. Have I been saying your last name wrong this whole time, like for years? Prezwas. I like the way I was saying it better. Ant said, I think he got the connection to Sid show from one of your friends. Really? One of my friends? I find out that AM conservative radio is still very big, and Boss listens to that channel. It's perfect for Ant. Yes, it is.
Yeah, conservative radio has always been huge. People forget about it because it's on AM radio. But like in the last couple of years, a lot of AM stations have been moving to their FM frequencies from a sister station that they shut down or whatever.
Sister station, that means a black station?
Some markets, yes, but it means a station in their cluster. And they'll move them to the FM frequency so that AM will go state to state. At night, you could hear at WABC all the way down to like Atlanta, Georgia. That's how far it broadcasts. FM sounds better in a shorter radius, so they put them on both, right?
What? Okay, that's confusing to me,
It's
but
science.
I'm not going to have you re-explain it.
No, I'm not going to. So, conservative radio has always been big, and it's big on those things, but also because of apps and streaming and other things, you can just pick up conservative radio anywhere you want. AM and syndication is where it's always been. So when people think conservative talk stuff is not big anymore, it's just Fox News. No, it's bigger than you think. Yes, AM is AM. It sounds shitty, but
it sounds shitty, and it's not an Opie's new car that he bought.
No.
Hold on a second. Chris Baldessano sends us a super chat. Hi,
Chris.
Chris.
So you're gonna get yelled at for calling into here too?
Chris, who yelled at him?
I don't know. I saw something online that somebody was yelling at him because he called into Anthony's show.
Oh, boy. Chrissie and Erik, two of my fave people in studio. Kudos and love it. Love to Chrissie and family and Erock and family. Oh, thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Very nice of you. He sings karaoke or plays golf online whenever I get the notifications that he's on.
Someone is upset that you were in the middle of a point and I interrupted it with a super chat.
That happens. It's her show. She can do what she wants.
Well, all I can say is I'll do better.
Anyway, conservative talk is alive and well. It does even better. I mean, it's doing well now. It'll continue to do well. It does even better when the opposition's in power.
You said that. Yeah.
I mean, the pinpoint of when conservative radio really blew up was Rush Limbaugh when Bill Clinton won. And that's where Rush really became super famous as the voice of conservative talk radio, while the 8 years that Clinton was in power, especially when the impeachment and the scandal came around.
Blue dress, the BJs.
Yeah, all of that stuff, it blew up. Conservative talk radio does way better when the opposition's in, because they have something to rally against, to fight against, to complain about. When you're in power, it's mostly you're talking about how they're doing right. And if shit goes wrong, then you're defending why shit goes wrong.
Well, that's interesting, because now, even though Trump's in power, and similar to when he was in his last term, it's like, yes, he's in power, but then it's like, well, the deep state or the swamp,
Right.
they're kind of like the overlords that we're fighting against, that are commies or left-leaning or however
This
you want to
time
put
around,
them.
it's interesting because you get a lot of conservative programming that's either fully Trump or conservative, but not liking the MAGA stuff. So
Yeah,
it's almost
interesting.
like the liberal division of the conservative talk radio. And I'm not saying there is, but you can see where it's split. And I think that's what's kind of generating the back and forth, because you'll have conservative hosts arguing over some that are very pro-Trump, some that are like a Reagan conservative that don't agree with some of the stuff he's doing. So you're still getting that kind of opposition, but within its own thing. It's like the snake eating its own tail kind of
Like a
situation.
Chinese finger trap.
But it's extremely profitable, extremely popular, and he's picked he was offered a great time to come into all of this. And now that he's going to be syndicated, and I think they might move. I think he said they're going to move his time at some point.
Wow.
So he's doing Sundays now, but they're looking into the future to move him somewhere else.
What would be considered like a dope time?
For conservative talk radio, middays. Middays is terrible for every other radio station, because the middays for a music station means that they have the radio on in the office in the background. It's playing in a mall or a deli or something like that. You're not really listening to the people online. The music's just to fill the background, so you're not.
That's what this show is for
sitting
some
there.
people.
Yes, so you don't want to, unalive yourself and be with your own thoughts. You have music in the background.
Okay.
But for sports talk, for news talk, and conservative talk, middays is perfect, and even the into the afternoons is perfect for that. Even more so than mornings. So middays and afternoons, if they put them in somewhere there, and nationally.
Wow.
Because he'll either be live or he'll be live, and then other stations will just take his live show and place it somewhere else in their schedule. Doesn't matter. You're still making the money. You're still making the ad revenue, and it's just an amazing opportunity that he's getting to do this. And I think it opens the doors for a lot of other people who were, I don't want to say canceled, but like maybe they were for other people who who got kicked out of radio or off television,
like Opie.
For other people who got kicked off television or radio, where you have an opportunity to come back, where it's not just like, well, you made an off-color joke, you can't ever work again.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving back to that thing where it's like, well, fuck you. I don't care if I make it over.
They can give him a job again. Is he dead?
He's been dead for a while,
shoot.
but you could still play his old stuff. They play a ton of old radio people that are dead.
He said nappy-headed hose, right? That's
did.
what that's what got him in hot water. Thank you, Nurse Ratched, for the $4.99. Of course, Chris had to send a super chat. Thank you, Nurse Ratched.
She plays golf with him.
Oh, really?
I think it's a conspiracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Red Walnuts. Aunt is saying Chrissy's friend made the WABC. Who is? I need to know who this friend is. Can we please barrage Anthony with questions until we get the name of this person? Which means that's cool. I'm gonna take full credit for Anthony's triumphant return to radio.
Then,
because I keep confusing triumphant with triumphant.
Well, you should pester him and go, hey, I want to be a guest on your show.
I will pester him. So is he now going to be officially uncanceled then, since he's come back?
I guess so. I guess that's what's happening here, because I think tomorrow night is his first syndicated show.
Wow. Okay. So
I could be wrong on that. They may have just made the announcement, but I thought it was this Sunday they were going to start it, but maybe they're not. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. He would know. I would not.
Wow.
But I'm very happy for him. Again, not just because this is great for him, and it's a fantastic story for, one, a redemption arc, Two, how many people it's been pissing off and making them miserable because
Oh,
he's
the
got
hate
this
articles are already coming out.
And three, the possibilities of what it could do for other people who have
Not Opie though.
lost their jobs for whatever reason. I've said this forever. Not that you would know, but I've said this forever on my show and other places where the radio industry is so bad right now because of the way the corporations run everything. It's not even a matter of just, corporate has this view on certain things. They mismanaged it for so long that they can no longer rely on their debt being so valuable that they can't fail. They've been firing all these people for the last, I think since August. It's been nonstop. There's really no shows left on radio. The only way it's going to survive is these bigger corporations. They got to sell off a lot of these stations or fold or something like that. And you got to have these eccentric owners that come in and buy these stations and take chances that want to hire talent, to want to hire programming in order to compete. Because nowadays when these you're competing against the lingo was the people across the street. Well, the people across the street are now 7 studios down the hallway from you.
Wow.
Because they own almost all the stations in whatever market you're in. You can't fight other shows. You can't go after other stations. You can't do anything that's going to hurt the audience of another station. Because even though you're doing what you think is best for business, for your show, your station, whatever, well, you're taking away the audience from that station. So you need to stop. Why?
Wow.
Well, because you're hurting the whole cluster. So when those stations are sold off, like the company that owns ABC right now, they own all these other stations, but they only own one station in New York.
Wow.
So they're willing to take these chances and all that stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. These smaller owners, or even if they're like insurance companies, like how they own football stadiums, and that kind of shit. They buy these radio stations as a business opportunity or a novelty thing for their portfolio and hire people to take these chances. You're starting to see that. And Anthony getting hired really kind of helps tell the story. Like there's possibilities down the line that shows will be coming back, that will also include their video streaming, the podcasting. You're still allowed to do all your other stuff. This is just a vehicle to promote everything else.
Who are you thinking right now if you are the booker and you work for WABC and they're like, well, Erock, Anthony's crushing it. Who else should we give a shot to? Like, who would you like to see get a chance like this?
I don't know. I'd have to really research that.
Anybody from Compound? Anybody that you have worked with?
No, I would like to
serious?
see not even just the radio thing, an actual legit television shot. Michael Malice.
Oh yeah,
when he was doing
ridiculous.
Nightshade
so
was
good.
the perfect unintentional parody of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. If Malice had a platform to do the show he wanted to do, where he doesn't explain, if you know Malice, you know Malice. He doesn't explain his jokes.
Nope.
He doesn't explain his comments, and whatever he puts out there. All right, that can't be the serious answer.
Yeah.
What is he really going for? You got to sit there and look at what he posts and study it for a while.
He's not for dumb people. No,
to see where he's going with this, and you go, all right, why did he say that? Now you have to go back through his Twitter history and go, okay, this is telling a story. Now I see what he's doing. Other people just see the one shots and they lose their mind. How dare you say that? And he's just laughing.
He's like a troll.
Or he's not even laughing. He put it out there and doesn't give a fuck what anybody else is doing.
So great.
His Nightshade show, to give him a national platform like that, you could do it on radio, but he works better with television because he would get the names purposely wrong on the graphics on there, or he would have the wrong photo of the person up there. I think Malice would be great to give a TV shot to.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.